Late-night Walmart shoppers at a store in Indiana had to run for cover when the gunman began shooting. ABC's M. Wynn reports that gunman was someone the store knew well as the victim he apparently was targeting.
Walmart has small cars to be advised, active shooters.
Overnight, a gunman killed in a shootout with police after allegedly opening fire in an Evansville, Indiana Walmart, wounding at least one person. Authorities say when police got to the scene, they immediately moved into the store as people were still running out. Within minutes, they found the alleged shooter, who police now identify as 25-year-old Ronald Ray Mosley II, weaving through the aisles, firing at officers.
Shooter is currently shooting from the electronics area of Walmart.
Clear the air, clear the air. Where is the suspect?
Authorities say officers exchanged gunfire with Mosley several times before law enforcement shot and killed him.
They were trying to locate the suspect, and he was all over the store. He would shoot at officers and move.
The Evansville Police Department confirming Mosley was a former Walmart employee who may have been co-workers with the woman he shot. The victim was taken to the hospital and able to talk, though her condition is unknown. No officers were injured.
Officers were on scene very quickly, went right in to Walmart.
Walmart in a statement saying the entire Walmart family is shocked by the senseless violence. Our hearts are with our associate at this time. This incident follows a mass shooting at a Southern Virginia Walmart last November, where a manager shot and killed 6 co-workers before turning the gun on himself. It's not immediately clear what the suspect's motive was behind the shooting. That Walmart will remain closed as the investigation continues. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Boeing has been ordered to appear in a Texas federal court next week. The aerospace manufacturer set to be arraigned on a fraud charge involving the certification of the 737 MAX. The case is connected to a 2019 crash where all 157 people on board were killed, leading to a 20-month grounding of that particular aircraft. Boeing entered into a deferred prosecution agreement with the federal government back in 2021, but it did not involve family members of crash victims. They argued to the court that they should have been allowed to participate in the case, and a judge agreed. Now families of the victims or their attorneys may speak at the arraignment.
Word is out that a hacker got the personal information of 37 million T-Mobile customers. The company revealed that breach in a regulatory filing on Thursday, but the breach actually happened back in November. T-Mobile says the bad actor took data that included users' names, addresses, emails, phone numbers, and dates of birth. That said, no social security numbers, credit card information, PIN numbers, or passwords were exposed. T-Mobile says it is in the process of notifying all the people who were affected.
Alphabet, the parent company of Google, announced Friday it is cutting about 12,000 jobs. Alphabet grew its workforce by more than 50,000 employees during the pandemic as demand for its digital services boomed, but in recent quarters, business has slowed for the company. In an email to employees, Alphabet's CEO said, quote, "We hired for a different economic reality than the one we face today. The layoffs will affect roles across product areas and regions. Affected U.S. employees will remain on the company's payroll for 60 days and receive at least 16 weeks severance pay." Alphabet joined a number of other companies in the tech sector, eliminating jobs after expanding during the pandemic.
Approval for an experimental treatment for Alzheimer's disease is now on hold. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration declining to grant accelerated approval for a drug called donanemab on Thursday. It is requesting additional data from the drug maker, Eli Lilly. According to the Alzheimer's Association, this drug's phase 2 trial showed significant slowing of decline in memory, thinking, and daily function in people living with early Alzheimer's as compared to those who took placebo. Eli Lilly plans to file phase 3 clinical trials data later on this year, hoping it'll get full FDA approval.
Outside with live cam, it's like you just want to reach up and grab a couple of those clouds and squeeze them, see if you can get some rain out of those things. Come on.
Yeah, that drought monitor was not pretty.
If only that worked. I mean, it has been just a stretch here of just really almost a year and a half of no rainfall. And I know we want some so badly. There's going to be a little bit tonight going into tomorrow morning. I think our better chance probably arrives next week, and that's going to be Monday night into Tuesday. Let's start with the satellite pictures, show you what temperatures look like. All these clouds really holding temperatures in check today. We're at 59 degrees at the airport, 62 Hondo, 63 Uvalde. Out in the sun, though, 70 in Del Rio right now, where it is partly cloudy. 57 Boulevardy, 57 in Seguin, 58 out in Gonzales, a few showers there. Our KSAT 12-hour forecast, if you've got plans this evening, temperatures will hold pretty steady. It won't be cold, but not warm either. 56 degrees at 7 o'clock, 54 9 p.m., 53 by 11 o'clock, and our rain chance is really only at about 10%. We bring that up to 20% by early tomorrow morning. If you missed the polling count earlier, it was good news. Mountain Cedars moderate at 280, Boulder low at 350. Both of those numbers came down. Here's a look at the weather headlines. Only a few showers tonight, early Saturday. We'll get some clearing on Sunday with some gusty winds, and then we're hopeful for some rain chances on Tuesday morning. We'll investigate that chance a little further coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Justin, thank you. The Dallas Zoo forced to close for a day last Friday after a hole was intentionally cut in the clouded leopards enclosure, and that allowed one of the leopards to escape. Then a second hole that was cut was found at another enclosure.
Scary stuff. Sarah Costa spoke with our San Antonio Zoo about how tampering with habitat enclosures for their animals is actually more harmful for the protected species than the public, and how they can keep their animals and their visitors safe.
It's a zoo's worst fear when one of their endangered animals escapes, and it's what happened to one of the clouded leopards at the Dallas Zoo last week.
We don't know how it came up missing.
Thankfully, the leopard named Nova was found within a few hours on the zoo property near her enclosure. However, someone knowingly damaged her habitat.
But we do know that the fence that it escaped from was intentionally cut.
The next day, another intentionally cut hole was found on one of the monkey exhibits. No monkeys escaped or were hurt. The San Antonio Zoo says in most cases, messing with animal habitats does more harm to the animals than to the public.
They know that habitat, they are provided for in that habitat. They get their food brought to them every day. They get mental stimulation. They have, that is their home.
Rachel Malstaff is the director of mammals at the San Antonio Zoo. She explains that an animal escaping its enclosure can also be extremely stressful for it.
And if they're a herd animal, if they're in a primate in a troop, that's their family members. So if them to be outside of that group, that can cause a lot of stress to them. And again, not necessarily being able to find the food they need to survive.
The San Antonio Zoo has 15,000 animals, including fish and birds, 812 species. Out of them, 95% are endangered or critically endangered. It's why the zoo says it's so important to keep them safe.
There may be very few of that species in the wild, actually. So we want to be able to preserve that species. We want that species to be around for 100 years plus to come, for years and years to come.
Educating the public about those endangered species and preserving them through procreation. For example, Frida, a 3-year-old jaguar, was brought to the zoo last year in hopes that her and Balam, the male jaguar, will have a baby in the future. Malstaff says to keep these protected animals safe, their staff does daily exhibit integrity checks.
They're checking in the wire mesh, they're checking the barriers, and they're going through and making sure everything is safe for guests, for themselves, and also for the animals, too.
On top of having 24/7 security, the zoo also brings in outside contractors to do more thorough checks once a year, and are always prepared for an emergency.
So we do regular drills throughout the year to plan for any emergency situations, so that way staff are prepared, even for animal escapes or for either weather situations or the whole list of drills that we prepare for.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
Gorgeous animals, aren't they?
Beautiful.
A theater chain shutting down dozens of cinemas, while Regal is closing more than 30 locations.
Some scented candles sold at discount retailer Ross Dress for Less now being recalled. It's due to a fire and injury hazard. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the Taylor and Finch 6-wick scented candles can combust while they are lit, causing the whole glass container to break. According to the CPSC, Ross received 5 reports of this happening with these candles. There was just one report of a minor injury. The recalled candles come in 2 scents, apple, and rosewood and cedarwood and clove. They sell for $17 at Ross locations nationwide. This happened from August through October of 2022. They can be returned to the store for a full refund.
Your favorite movie theater could be shutting down. Regal Cinemas, the second largest U.S. theater chain behind AMC, has announced it's closing 39 theaters across the country. Its parent company, Cineworld, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy 4 months ago. Regal shuttered 12 other cinemas last year. Cineworld said in a filing this week, closing the additional theaters will save the company $22 million a year. The filing says the closures will begin February 15th. Around 500 Regal Cinemas will remain open.
Take a look outside with live cam. Those clouds are sticking with us, Justin. They are not breaking up.
Very different scene from yesterday, if you remember. We had blue skies, beautiful blue skies. Today, fairly cloudy most of the day, so it's going to keep temperatures down a little bit. We're at 59. Don't expect much movement with temperatures today, probably in the low 60s for highs. 54 was the low this morning, so we've only gained 5 degrees. We'll be just about average. Just to show you, it could be much colder at this time of year. 19 is a record low, set back in 1943. We'll investigate our rain chances tomorrow and next week. Coming up.
And this is what it's going to be like for all those KSAT insiders, the 5 who get the opportunity to get in this carriage or wagon, whichever one you want to. Is this a carriage or a wagon?
Hitch wagon.
It's a hitch wagon. There we go. We're going to get the name official. This is Amanda. She's driving. This is Dennis. He's the owner of Buggy Board. And there's Pickle Past. Thank you. It's cold out here. So we're just. It was a little chilly on that wagon.
Yeah, you got
on the hitch wagon.
I tell you what, that looks like a lot of fun. Oh, it looks like old San Antonio. It does. When they used to do the cattle drives.
We missed you this morning.
You know, if I'd known you were going to have that much fun, I might have shown up. Where the reason we're showing you that is we have a carriage ride available to our KSAT insiders. You can scan the QR code on your screen right now to enter the sweepstakes. It's free to enter, and it's exclusively for members of KSAT Insider, which you can join. We have till Wednesday, January 25th. That's next week. To enter.
So you enter, and then we draw, and we pick 5 names, and then all 5 of those get to bring a guest with them, and they get to all sit next to you.
And you.
And I'll be in there somewhere.
Yeah, and it's the Western Heritage Parade that's going to be happening before the rodeo Saturday, February 4th. We're praying, begging,
for good weather.
And praying for good weather.
But that did look like a lot of fun, didn't it?
You know, the last time we did the carriage ride, I had a blast.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Great time.
Pistol, packing,
Paula.
Got it.
You ought to see her handle those guns. I mean, she's flips them, does all kinds of tricks with those things. It was like, whoa.
So that place is the Buggy Barn.
The Buggy Barn, right there, just north of Blanco.
So much history there. It's incredible.
Well,
I think we're all ready for the rodeo. We're excited. It's going to be a fun year. And hopefully, yes, the weather does cooperate. It's still a little too early to say just yet, but we'll keep you posted. Let's look at the cloud cover. That's been the big story today, a lot of it. We do have some breaks in those clouds as you get up towards Kerrville, Fredericksburg, Rock Springs, Del Rio. Sun is out there. It's helping temperatures just a little bit. It's 70 out in Del Rio where it is sunny. 59 in San Antonio, though, underneath the clouds. 59 in New Braunfels, 58 in Gonzales. And the way that clearing line is working, it is trying to more or less work south and east. It's possible that we could see a little bit of sun this afternoon here in town, but I wouldn't hold your breath. And so temperatures will hold right there around 60 or so. Considering we're already at 59, I'd say low 60s a good bet later this afternoon. There is the scene outside, and we've got cloudy skies over the airport, but no rain. Easterly winds at 13. Notice the dew point, still pretty low, so the air's still pretty dry at the surface. If we were to see any light showers come through, they'd have a hard time producing a lot of rain with this dry air in place, at least at the moment. And as we look at the radar, we've seen some showers down towards Kennedy, Floresville, out towards Cuero. This is all really light stuff. We had a few heavier showers, if you want to call it that, earlier this morning around Gonzales, but nothing at the moment, and nothing here around San Antonio showing up on our live radar right now. That probably changes a little bit tonight into tomorrow morning as rain chances come up slightly. Forecast temperatures, again, around 60 or so here in San Antonio. I'd say most places in the 60s today, and then tomorrow morning, temperatures don't fall off that much either. We're at 50 to start your Saturday, 50 maybe upper 40s. And then we'll look for some of these showers to fill in a bit tomorrow morning. And the reason for that, we've got a little spin out here over the Four Corners region. That's storm system that'll move east. Now, it's not diving south into Texas, which would give us much better rain chances. No, it's staying to our north. And so that's why rain chances aren't great, but we are noticing the moisture is starting to come in there to deep South Texas, and some of that will funnel up into our area. So 4 p.m. today, we'll call it a 10% chance of rain. As we get into tonight, we'll start to see a few more sprinkly showers showing up, I think. There's a little area of low pressure that will develop along the coast, and that takes a lot of the rain with it as we get into midday tomorrow. But still, I think we have a chance through at least lunchtime tomorrow, and then we'll watch the clearing line. It'll take some time, but eventually it'll work through San Antonio by late afternoon, maybe the evening hours. Clearing lines are always a little tricky, but I do think maybe we'll get some clearing tomorrow. It's Sunday where we completely clear out, and then the sun comes out, and obviously, and it'll be beautiful most of Sunday. Other than we'll get some gusty winds Sunday morning, and with that in mind, you know what gusty northwesterly winds means, probably an uptick in mountain cedar. Today's numbers weren't so bad, moderate at 280, and in general, mountain cedar season, knock on wood, I know a lot of folks wouldn't believe me when I say this, but the numbers haven't been as bad this year as they have been in previous years. Encouraging. Hopefully they don't get too bad on Sunday with those gusty northwesterly winds, but I do want to alert you of that. That's a possibility. Okay, down the line, we get another storm system behind this one. This one digs into the Four Corners region by Monday and starts to pull into our area Tuesday morning. This is midnight, starting to see showers out west, and then some decent rain chances, I think, early Tuesday morning. Some showers, maybe a storm. That could be some snow in the Texas Panhandle. This storm, I think, probably a little more, bringing a little more rain for us than we've seen over the last few systems. So 61 Saturday, 68 Sunday with clearing skies, 69 Monday. There's that 40% chance of rain early on Tuesday. Turns windy, a little cooler, 58 Tuesday, and then low 60s Wednesday and Thursday.
Coming up, we're going backstage for a new production of Rent that's bringing a little New York talent to San Antonio.
The classic Broadway musical Rent is now showing at the Carlos Alvarez Studio Theater at the Tobin Center.
The cast includes actors from San Antonio and some from New York. KSAT producer Priscilla Karaman went behind the scenes. Let's go backstage with her.
525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments so dear.
The Tony Award-winning Broadway musical Rent is coming to the Tobin for this week only.
Rent is a show about the AIDS epidemic in the early 90s, the housing crisis, and LGBTQ+ matters. But at its core, it's a show about human connection and friendship and equality and humanity. And I think coming out of a pandemic, it's so important for people to be reminded about how special human connection can be. I'm so happy that San Antonio Broadway Theater is bringing this to San Antonio, especially in the way that they're integrating New York actors into the San Antonio theater community.
For the audience, like, yes, they may come into this knowing that there are New York actors in the show, and that's really cool, but they're going to watch the show and they're not going to know the difference between the people that are from New York and the people that are from San Antonio. And I think that it's such an interesting and unique thing, and for a theater company to be mixing New York actors and local actors together and showing the San Antonio community that it's like all of these people coming together just make this really awesome show, and they're going to leave not pointing out one particular actor, one particular singer. They're going to leave going, wow, that was an amazing show.
For more information on the San Antonio Broadway Theater or to purchase tickets, head to KSAT.com. Priscilla Karaman, KSAT12 News.
A lot of local talent.
We got some too.
We got some right here, right now.
Have you ever seen Fiona, heard Fiona sing?
I've heard her sing a little bit. Maybe she'll do some singing for us.
I've heard Mike do karaoke.
Let's go back to
Fiona. She can sing, she can
there.
dance, play the piano. She is the multi-talented. Speaking of local talent, of course, we were talking about the Cattle Drive, which is coming up just 2 weeks from tomorrow, and some of the stars of the show are with us right now.
Yes, we're going to chat with the award-winning equestrian team Escaramuza Rosas. de Castillo.
Yes, and we are going to be up on here as well. Side saddle. This is Sierra, by the way, my new friend. Yes, what a sweet little horse. All right, Jen is out. Very interesting hobby out there. What you doing, Jen?
That's right, it's getting hot in here. We're at Caliente Hot Glass, where you can come for maybe a Valentine's date night experience, and we are starting the process now. And this is what we will be making, these gorgeous hearts right there, as you can see. So we're getting this started, and you guys will get to follow along. See you in a
Oh, get ready for some high-flying action this weekend at the Alamo Dome.
Monster Jam this weekend. Gonna get behind the wheel and see what it's like to drive one of these babies, or maybe kind of, sort of.
All right, look at this delicious food ahead of the Asian Festival happening at Rolling Oaks Mall this weekend. We've got sari-sari in the house with some delicious Filipino food.
And then, of course, you have to have something to finish that off, some sweets. And look at all these delectable sweets right here. We've got a little bit of peppermint bark, lemon bark, butterscotch, dark chocolate, everything else. That and a whole lot more coming up on SA Live. I need some too.